Yo, welcome to Out of Time. This is it. We finally did it.
Yep.
We got a green screen. We got our little thing in the background. We got a crowd.
Got
This
a cool
is pretty
name.
awesome. My name's
Digs.
Peenut. This is Trouble T. Roy, and we're out of time. But we're not out of time because we're actually on time for once. That's Evan in the background right now.
Yeah. Well, that's our support person.
Yeah, he's our tech support. We got the wonderful ladies, Vicky. We got Laura in the background.
Yeah. Our
Oh.
our guard.
She said we're number one.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, she did it with her middle finger, but still won.
Well,
Still
our
won.
chief of security, Brutus, approves of the ladies. So
We are in the middle of the wilderness right now. This is our first episode,
Yep.
and I didn't want to do like a specific show. I kind of wanted to do something that was an introduction to what we want to do. So this is our first time, by the way. So bear with us.
yeah.
You're gonna see that little stream. Oh, that side. You're gonna see the StreamYard thing in the corner. We don't want to pay for that yet until we can figure out what the fuck we're doing. So this is it, man. This is it. We're gonna talk about history. We're gonna talk about current events. We're gonna talk about people's moms and shit. We're just gonna try to mix it all in there at the same time.
Like whatever's interesting, whatever's funny.
That's right.
It's on the table.
And we're gonna drink while we do it because we are literally
We're adults.
we're adults. We can do what we want. We can do what we want. So
Lots of men died to give us this right.
yeah,
to drink.
exactly, man. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
God
your
bless
service. So I don't want to talk about a specific topic per se,
Yeah.
but we'll start with current events and without getting super political, without super crazy.
Well, that's the thing with politics. They say don't talk politics, don't talk religion.
Mhm.
So it's like, well, you just took all the interesting shit right off the
Yeah,
table.
all the shit
So,
people
like,
click on.
Yeah, so it's like, well, how's Martha Stewart? Is she still alive? Like,
Yeah. They were like,
I know
oh,
Coolio died.
nobody ever like Googles episode 1 unless they want to see Star Wars or something. And that's our title right now.
Yes.
But listen, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring to you guys kind of the conversations that we have.
Yeah.
And hopefully this mic is working. Otherwise, this is a complete fucking waste of time. We were talking about gulags, and we were talking about how the Russians, the way they kind of conquered and not conquered, I'm sorry, but controlled their population. And you started sending me a bunch of things, which I didn't even know.
So, I've always had an interest in, World War One, especially World War II, and then all these different isms that came to power at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like this continuation from the French Revolution, and you see in the revolutions in 1848 in Europe, and even in China, and it manifests, the Guomindang that end up, unifying China for the first time.
Yeah.
But you see all these movements come to power, and you see these things happening in the 19th and the 20th century,
Right.
and all these wars, and they're not like these wars before where, the war span of succession. What, 3 million people died? It's a lot of people.
I like that you said what, like 3 million people.
Well, I mean, you had the Taiping Rebellion.
Yeah,
39 million people died.
that's crazy.
It's insane.
That's a crazy
and then you
number.
look at what happened under Mao Zedong and Stalin, and then like Russia loses 29 million people in World War II.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think what 14 to 18 million, somewhere in that range, died in World War One.
That's nuts. Just the amount of like, it's almost like a complete wipe, wipe of the world and a restart. And with World War One and World War II being so close together, like literally those generations we lost. I mean, can you imagine the generations of families
What
lost?
ends up happening is losses on that scale, and that's what you see the birth of the Soviet Socialist Republic. What's the Soviet Union? Was born out of the horrendous losses that the Russian army took in World War One. I mean, they gutted themselves. I mean, they beat the crap out of the Austro-Hungarians, and the Germans came in, and the Gorlistanov offensive in 1916. I mean, they knocked, or 1915 maybe. Yeah, I think it's 15.
It's all right. No one's gonna fact check us.
Anyway, but they knock.
And if they do, we're sorry.
They knocked the Russians' fucking nose in. They caved their fucking face in.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
crazy.
The Russians retreat all the way out of Poland. They burn Poland to the ground as they're retreating.
Yeah.
So there's this chaos, this bubble of just massacres and people starving, and it goes on for decades. So born out of that is the Soviet Union and the Communist Party. And we were talking about the gulags.
Yeah, them gulags is fucked up.
And people are so numb to war that they'll accept almost anything, then continue the living like that. And what happens is you see in the Gulag Archipelago is written by a guy named Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Not an expert on the book. It's a dense read because it's very emotional because he actually went to the prison camps. He was there for, I don't know, 5-10 years, something like that.
So wait, I'm sorry not to cut you off.
Yeah,
he went to the prison camps as an author to document?
No, he was a prisoner.
Oh.
He was arrested, and he talks about how the system is set up so you inform on your buddies, and they'll and all the forms of torture that they do to you until you make a confession letter.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
you have to name like 100 people that are also co-conspirators in your anti-Soviet cabal.
Right.
Your fifth column, which is a Spanish Civil War term that afterwards. But anyway.
You know what? That kind of reminds me of like, and I'm not to get off topic because I want to stay on this topic, but it kind of reminds me of the day Saddam purged his government, kind of doing the same thing where he forced
willingness to do anything to stay in power.
It's almost like this reoccurring thing with these governments, and it's sad because like us as Americans, I think we don't necessarily get how steep and how crazy it really is because we're kind of confined to America. Like a lot of people are like,
Well, the only real culture we have here of like political assassination, is one-offs for the most part. This is a systematized, organized, like from soup to nuts, like from the officers that are, and he describes this in the Gulag Archipelago. It's soup to nuts, a complete system of intimidation and coercion. That they have just continual run, this glut of hundreds of thousands of people a year, sometimes millions in a year, that they'll send off to these gulags, a good chunk of which never return. And these are sentences that like are a minimum of 5 years. Most of them are 25 years.
25 years in the gulag.
In the gulag.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and if you don't confess, like the one that stuck in my head, he talks about different torture techniques, like how they would, because some people would be like, I'm not informing on my buddies. They're not involved in this. I'm not even guilty. So they would thirsty you to death. They'd stick you in a closet for with 20 other people, literally in a closet, so you can't lie down for days.
Just standing there.
And until you're willing to sign,
Jesus Christ, man.
Then another one, they would have people lay on your arms and legs, and they would strip you naked, and they'd have an officer come with his boot, and he'd crush your balls under the foot of his boot.
Fuck that, dude.
Until you confess.
I'd be confessing in a heartpeat. I'm sorry, I'm not a snitch, but if they're gonna be stepping on my balls and shit, I'm snitching on everybody. Like,
but that's just it. Like you couldn't just give yourself up. You had to give your conspirators up.
So you could. And what happened? Like, what happened to the people that would give up the conspirators? Like, do they get out?
No,
they just stay in the fucking
everybody
gulag?
Got the same shit.
God damn.
Now you might get like a little bit of time off. Maybe,
right?
But the
you
laws
might get
were
water.
purposefully set up to be draconian to deter people. Man. And Stalin had this whole program of these continually resetting the law and making it more stringent, and then you could retroactively get someone for that new law that was passed.
That's fucking crazy. What was that? I forget the name of it now because now that we're finally up and running,
Yeah.
I had all this, but it was this gulag that I read about. Not Nazimo or something.
The one that's the island that
Nazimo Island.
Yeah.
I might be. Please, I'm sorry if I butchered that.
No, that's a good example too, because they just did not care.
They literally just dropped them off and were like, "Fend for yourself." Well, they ended up becoming cannibals.
That sparked a memory for me of a similar episode that happened during the Napoleonic Wars. So during the Napoleonic Wars, France basically invaded Spain, and they set Napoleon's brother up on the throne, and they had some like puppet government, and it turned into a bloody guerrilla war, and that's where the word guerrilla comes from. So that war created the word guerrilla. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Small war.
See, I always wondered where guerrilla warfare came from, because I'm like, guerrilla warfare. I'm thinking to myself, like, I wouldn't want to have wars with guerrillas.
But that's nothing. They're pretty tough, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine a war with gorillas. And I didn't realize that it actually...
They made movies about that. Have you seen those documentaries?
Yeah, I did.
The humans lose every time.
Of course. It'd take at least 30 of us to get one of them, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
But, so that's where the word guerrilla warfare comes from?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's guerre, which, a French, Spanish, same word, guerre.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the EO is a small, petite, like...
No kidding.
Guerrilla, a small war. So what they would do is they would ambush the French columns. And this is the tactic that guerrillas have been using for millennia. I mean, I've read a Roman author talking about the war against Hannibal.
Yeah.
And there's this general called Fabian.
That's where the name probably comes from.
So he had a strategy where he wouldn't actually fight Hannibal, because every time the Romans fought Hannibal, they got their asses handed to them. I mean, they lost about 250,000 men in a year. Now, this is in the ancient world. They lost many men.
This is the time where they used to just line people up, right?
Yeah, they would. Unlike Vikings, where you see the lines come together and then about 5 seconds later they're all paired off and they're fighting.
Yeah.
That's a complete horseshit. They would fight in formations, because they would fight more or less shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder, arm
and
to arm.
And they'd have deep ranks, and they'd have their horns, they'd have their officers with them. They wouldn't break formations, because men alone on a battlefield, you're a target. People are going to kill you.
Right.
You got to stay with your buddies, and everybody's looking out for each other. So we're going to,
if one guy goes down,
we're going to stand together, or we're all going to die.
Yeah, because if that front line goes down,
because
you're
everybody knows in the ancient world, most of the people that are killed on a battlefield are killed while they're actually running away.
Yeah.
So if you would have lost, say, 3,000 men in a battle, but you lose and you run away, now you went to 10,000 men lost.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they've ride you down with their cavalry for miles. You're not going to outrun horsemen for
the
whole day.
Or guerrillas.
Or guerrillas. So the point being about guerrillas is they would do that kind of shit. They would ambush the French columns, and they had a tactic that they would use is they would string a Frenchman across like between two trees, and they'd saw you in half with a saw.
Oh fuck! Man.
That was their thing. That was their signature.
And then you had to go to war, and then you see that.
Yeah. And hey, Francois and his 15 guys, they never came back, and then you find them all chopped to pieces.
No, thank you.
It's like, woo, yeah.
No, thank you. Everyone, that's what I'm saying. Everyone thinks it's bad now, but imagine. The
people have always been doing nasty shit to each other.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and honestly, that's another thing we were talking about when I was like, hey, it's weird. Excuse me, how old, like, warfare is. It stands the test of time. It stands the test of times. It's been here for eons, but guerrilla warfare has been here just as long as warfare has been here.
Well, it's asymmetric warfare. So it's basically, if you don't have the ability to beat your opponent,
right,
like one-on-one,
right,
on a battlefield, on a parity, then you're by necessity forced to harass them and make it
difficult. Make it difficult.
Fighting us, you might beat us here and there, but if we're going to keep at it, So is this really worth it?
Right. So here's a question, like, and Troy's phenomenal when it comes to like history and knowing these warfare things. My question to you is like, out of
so much more I don't know.
that,
So.
well, that's what I'm here for, all the fart jokes and shit. So, anyways, like, out of all the wars that you know of, what was the most effective guerrilla tactic from which country during that war? If do you understand what I'm asking? So,
it's hard to say, but quite honestly, it immediately jumps to my mind. And there's probably better examples. And I'll probably kick myself later and say like, "Oh, what about the Hussite rebellion?" And
right.
like, no. Quite honestly, Vietnam,
right?
When they resisted the French, they resisted the Chinese. The Chinese actually invaded them. Communist Chinese.
Yep.
They resisted them. And they resisted us and the South Koreans and the Australians and all these, the British.
So pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
like pretty much everybody
was like, we're going to come stomp your little asses. And
they were digging holes.
That's fine, man. Like, hey, born in the North to die in the South. That was their slogan.
No kidding.
Yep.
So as they went north to south,
they were born in the north
to die in the south,
and then they got sent down the Ho Chi Minh Trail to their destination units.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then they knew the attrition rates in those units were so astronomical, they were not going to come back, and they were still willing to do it, and they did it with gusto. They never really had low morale.
Right.
They were always tough.
They were willing to go.
Yeah.
Hey, not to cut you off, beer boy. Can you grab me a beer, please? Oh, Troy saved you. For those not knowing, my minor son is my beer guy. So, hey, Evan, you want to say hi to everyone real quick?
Hello.
There he is. So this guerrilla warfare is, and I'm intrigued by guerrilla warfare because it's one of those. It's basically like the last stand against.
Well, I think for an American, let's say and they're not talking about the remake that they did in the 2000s, the movie Red Dawn. So if you're of the generation that was exposed to Red Dawn, it came out in 1984 or some shit.
Yeah.
I remember my generation getting really excited about that movie, and we were ready to go bury some guns up in the hills because if the Soviets invaded us,
we were ready.
Kill a commie for our mommy.
Yeah, kill a commie for our mommy.
We'll be the first kid on my block to kill a commie.
Build a bombie for my mommy.
Yep.
Hell yeah. And I think
better dead than red.
You know what's weird? Like, you just touched into one of those ancient memories.
Oh yeah.
Like, I remember growing up with the propaganda. Not propaganda.
It was propaganda.
It was.
And I actually read when I got to college, they made us read this treatise that this guy, I don't remember his name, he was from somewhere in Europe, obviously.
Right.
But they made us read this treatise on MAD, mutually assured destruction, which was basically, if we nuke you, you're going to nuke us, and everyone will be destroyed, so let's not do this.
Right.
And that's kind of why we never had a nuclear exchange.
Yeah.
But I tell you, if you really look at the Cuban Missile Crisis, I think that was, 62?
Yeah.
That was scary.
That was the closest the world got.
Close.
That was the closest the world got to literally annihilation.
And love or hate JFK, but the way he played that, it was totally like. Did you hear the story on what he did?
I did.
With the letter and all that.
I did, but I'll let you explain it, and I'll make fart jokes in the background.
I'll tell the story, man, if you know it.
No. You trust me. It's better from you because otherwise it turns into
It's basically he got this letter, and I forget the details of it, and I should have researched it before I talked about it.
Man, fuck that. No one is gonna fact check us, man.
But anyway, no, I'm telling you, history knew.
That's when Optimus Prime came down to save the world.
That's why I always say, the documentary where Dr. Evil took over.
That's when the Avengers saved the world.
Yes. It's all right there. You can see the documentaries.
But kids don't get it. Kids, and we have a kid. He's our boss right now. He's watching us. So there he is.
Got to behave.
We got to behave. So I think kids don't get how close the world really got to completely just ending.
Yeah. The Cuban Missile Crisis, if it had gone one notch further, we would have had a
Curtains.
nuclear exchange.
Curtains.
And what ended up happening was JFK got this letter from, I think it was Khrushchev at the time. Yeah, it was Khrushchev. And it was basically this demand.
Right.
And what he, in fact, did, without getting all the particulars about it, and I'm not talking about that Oliver Stone movie. Oh, my God.
Oliver Stone.
Oh.
Shout out to Oliver Stone.
Yeah. Hey, he makes some good stuff, but my God.
It's not necessarily historical.
Yeah, I needed drugs
accuracy.
to get through that movie.
Yeah. I got you.
Anyway, but so it came so close that he basically ignored the letter, let it go past the deadline, and then made a counter that was more reasonable.
Right.
I think it was nuclear weapons in Turkey. I think he said he would pull the nukes out of Turkey if you take them out of Cuba. And they were like, yeah, that's cool. All right. And everybody was like, all right. Oh, shit. But if he had not ignored that letter and he had responded to it, it would have been a nuclear exchange.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
It came that fucking close. And he just basically did like a little sleight of hand, hinky-dinky maneuver.
That's
and
crazy.
It saved the world.
Yeah.
And there was a Soviet sub-captain, and he deserves the honor of my remembering his name, but he defied orders.
Oh, I did a short on,
yes.
And his name is impossible to like. I wrote it down and I had AI say
those people in my book, blessed are the peacemakers.
Yeah.
Even
Facts.
And yeah, like Zhou Enlai, like from the Chinese People's Republic,
right?
The Communist Party, close associate of Mao Zedong, pretty nasty, evil dude.
Yeah, Mao was a problem.
He was on the Long March with the whole group. I mean, I don't want to mispronounce the guy's name, but
we're going to.
Yeah, the guy that basically introduced. What is it, Peng?
Yeah. Hold on, babe. What's you did a lot of research on Mao Zedong. Who was? It wasn't him.
Li Peng.
Ho Chi Minh, that's right. I'm sorry. All right, my bad.
Yeah, Ho Chi Minh.
Back to the show.
But anyway, but Zhou Enlai, basically, you ever heard of ping pong diplomacy?
I play ping pong a lot.
Yeah, not pocket pool. Two different things.
We didn't make that up. There's an actual ping pong diplomacy. Go ahead, continue on.
So ping pong diplomacy, basically, we were so butthurt that the Chinese communists took over.
Right.
And we had basically set up this Chinese people's, I forget their, whatever their thing is. Like, I don't know. It's like, I like the Chinese People's
it's
Democratic
so hard.
Republic of Dang-da-da.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Nah, I'm with you on that one, bro. I'm with you.
But anyway, so like Taiwan, basically. Right. Formosa is what it used to be. Now it's Taiwan. So that's why they still consider a rebellious republic. But the U.S. basically set them up. And they were the people that were talking about nationalist movements and awakenings and these great losses. And when the Kuomintang united China.
Yeah.
And that was the guy, Sun Yat-sen. So he basically, when he died, he turned it over to his Generalissimo.
Okay.
Now his Generalissimo was a corrupt dude. So
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, no, not personally. I would not say he was not a corrupt dude.
Oops, sorry.
That's Chiang Kai-shek is this guy's name.
Right.
So what he ended up doing was he kind of unified a lot of the warlords, because the warlords took over after the I think it was the Qing dynasty was the last
as
one.
They should.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's like should. Might makes right.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And these guys, we're talking about warlords. You got to be thinking these guys have an army of like 1.2 million men.
Wow.
Yeah, these aren't like the schlubs. These guys have uniforms. They have systems of supply, logistics. Yeah, they're an army.
Rank and all that good stuff. Yep.
So, but they're not very well trained. They're not very well disciplined, meaning that the officers tell you to dig a trench. You come back 3 hours later, they may or may not have dug that trench.
It's like my job.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Don't worry, I'll edit that out.
Like, do you not realize we're in a war and you need to follow orders? Like, there's a reason I told you to dig a trench.
Yeah, it's important. Like, look, I think that's the difference between like good countries and great countries is discipline.
Well, it's not even that, because it's the Chinese. They got a chip on their shoulder, and deservedly so.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, let's talk about let's just mention the opium wars.
I was just gonna say the opium wars.
Yeah,
that's why this fentanyl thing is happening right now.
Right.
I think that's why
payback, man.
Yeah.
I
like
see it.
not a lot of people see it, and when I seen,
but that's more the British, and we helped.
But we're so it's basically they're trying. A friend of my enemy is my enemy, so they're like, you know what, you guys fucked this up with this opium war shit, and then fentanyl came out, and they're like, we got Mexico right there.
Right.
Mexico, the cartels are like, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
So China, and mind you, this is China.
Yeah,
China. China is supplying Mexico with fentanyl so that they can smuggle it into America.
You undermine your opponent.
Absolutely. Look,
it's asymmetrical warfare.
Checkmate, China. We're addicted.
But that's the thing. And it's the whole thing. If you have 20% of the country buying drugs, and I'm not talking about weed, because weed's
not a drug.
Well, it's not. Well, the thing
neither is alcohol.
And I'm sure people like, oh, we got to debate this.
Yeah.
We're talking about drugs from other countries.
Correct.
Because weed can be. There's a weed industry in the United States. It could be self-sustaining for us never have to import weed again.
Whoa. Oh, gross. Sorry. sorry.
Barbecue?
It smells worse than it actually sounded. That was a beefy ass burp. Also gonna edit that out too. I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna, instead of burping, it's gonna be like like me going, oh. But it's crazy, man. And what's weird is I like that we started from gulags and how it morphed into what it is now. But all of this is all connected. It all starts somewhere, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, human society, especially really since the printing press, let's say.
Yeah.
You see this drive, and this is one of the reasons why, for the longest time, I wanted to count myself as a liberal. Because you look at these liberal movements that come up throughout history, and they almost always end up being implemented.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the stuff that Teddy Roosevelt, this communist pinko candidate, Theodore Roosevelt,
right?
Like he wanted like 8-hour workday and what was it? Yeah, Sundays off, and like just outrageous demands.
Yeah,
like
Didn't he take everyone's gold, or am I messing that up?
The gold standard and all.
Yeah, was that him? I'm sorry, I might have messed that up. I messed that up. It wasn't him. It was FDR.
Take us off of the gold
standard?
No,
he made everyone give him their gold or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, I might be wrong on this one, but in order...
No, it may have happened. I just don't know.
Yeah, who cares? No one's going to fact check me anyway. E.T. came down and helped him out. So... Continue on. I'm sorry. I went off on a whole different time branch.
If you got a story, talk.
So he's the one that created welfare. He's the one that created
so FDR. Yes, with the social support programs. And
right.
They branded him a socialist and a communist, and you got to remember in the 1920s, once we saw kind of what was going on in Russia with the gulags, then we come back to the gulags.
Full circle, baby.
Yeah,
that's what we do at this show.
And so what? And you see Solzhenitsyn. I think he's more like he was around for the 20s,
right?
So he was around to see the Soviets come to power and how they inserted themselves into society and how they'd have Cheka agents and stuff at.
See.
Okay.
Oh, this is why we have you guys here.
Okay.
Yes. So yes. All right. Yes. Awesome. For a moment, I'm like, I might have made that up.
Nope. All right. No, cool. Good to know.
Yeah, he was taking everyone's gold.
Put on the gold standard.
Yeah, he took everyone's gold. Like you had to just give it up.
So this ties us into Wizard of Oz with "Follow the Yellow Brick Road." L. Frank Baum. That was all a political allegory.
So that was all basically their way of.
He was basically saying, like William Jennings Bryan, the Donald Trump of his era, with the Cowardly Lion.
That makes a lot of sense now.
That's a whole.
Yeah,
other
yeah.
episode,
We'll get there.
but
We'll get there in
Yeah.
episode 2. We'll get there in episode 2, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
This
man.
happened in 1933,
It happened in 1933.
and the program was meant to increase the government's control over the money supply during the Great Depression.
So the money
Okay.
was basically the gold. The money was supposed to offset the depression, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's the thing, though. You
It's
couldn't.
basically because remember in this era in 1933, that's the year that the Nazi Party was voted into power in Germany.
Yeah,
That's when Hitler came to power. You had the Great Depression was wiping people out. France was in the toilet.
yeah.
I mean, Russia was just still in fucking chaos.
So, in exchange for their gold, citizens received $20.67 per troy ounce.
Right.
The government then raised the official price of gold to $35.
Of course they would.
Those fuckers.
They raised it so that it's brilliant. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. And
So
mind
they
you,
could have a more firm establishment for the currency.
so that wasn't democracy.
Because that's the thing too. Because you remember the Weimar Republic. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Weimar Republic.
I'm not.
Okay, so once Germany, and we were talking about the Versailles Treaty
Yes.
not long ago.
Yep.
So I'm of the opinion the Versailles Treaty being the death knell of democracy in Germany, leading to fascism, absolute garbage.
Yeah.
That's horse shit.
That's what brought Hitler to power.
Well, because he wrote a wave of propaganda based on that was
Yeah.
based on nothing.
Yeah.
It was manufactured. It did not actually.
Hence propaganda, right?
Yeah. So Germany basically they took out loans to cover the expenses for the Versailles Treaty,
Right.
the war reparations,
Right.
and then defaulted on those loans,
That's what we do.
and then never paid those loans.
It's like us having a credit card.
And then what they did is they basically started printing so much money to devaluate their economy,
which caused inflation.
Yeah, which caused inflation. That you had people basically bringing in, $1 million Reichsmarks to buy a loaf of bread.
That's fucked up.
You see photos of these people, these kids with wheelbarrows with stacks of cash
To burn, probably.
Yeah, well, some people did.
That's
because
crazy.
they couldn't afford the coal.
Yeah.
It was cheaper to burn the currency.
That is fucking crazy.
So,
That is
and
crazy.
Zimbabwe had that not long ago.
That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was, but the reason I say that is like the gold standard. You got to remember in that general era, we're not talking a specific year. You wanted to base your currency on something firm
Right.
because you had countries doing shit like this, and like Russia was. I mean, but Russia's economy has always been overstated. They're not that big of a player.
But when you can run like state-run gulags doing manual labor.
Yeah, well, that's just it. Like Stalin he had these 5-year plans.
Yeah.
Where he would basically rip a population out of an area. Now you're going to be factory workers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the Urals.
You see what we just did there? It's called wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. We're getting the wrapping it up thing. Wrap it up, B.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, I had a great time talking.
Yeah.
This is episode 1. Maybe we'll name it something later. Maybe I'll throw some dicks in the background or something funny. Who knows? No one ever. They will when we make it. They'll be like, I wonder how it started.
Like those dudes. Like God
now they're wearing.
damn.
Now they're wearing clown makeup.
Like I don't
Where
even
did they
recognize
start?
him.
All right, that'll work.
No wonder
There should be dicks in the background,
No
right?
wonder
Yeah.
they went to be in cartoons.
So anyways, this is episode 1, Out of Time. I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and put a bunch of titties and dicks in the background because that's what I do. Troy, I had a wonderful time. Hey, Ev, you want to say what's up to everyone before we go? Do you want to get in the camera?
Come on, man.
Yeah, get in
Say
the
hey.
background. This is our boss, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a slave driver.
He's been watching us the whole time, making sure we don't fuck this up.
He's a tough one.
I'm sure I did fuck it up somehow. But this is Out of Time.
Don't be easy on him. Don't abuse him.
Don't hit me. This is Out of Time, and remember, history does not repeat, but it sure as fuck rhymes. Peace.
Amen.
And recording, bam, and recording.